I watched Julie Taymor's Frida, which just got added back to Netflix. So it's on Netflix. I was gonna rent it because it's also available like VOD, and that's how badly I wanted to see it because it's not. I looked at like every movie rental store in LA and I couldn't find a copy, and I was like, this movie is only 13 years old. Where is it? And then suddenly it was on Netflix, and I was like, yes. So like I discovered it was on Netflix this morning and immediately watched it. Because I've been meaning to see this movie forever, and I don't know why I didn't see it. Like, well, obviously I didn't see it when it came out because my hometown theater did not get an R-rated movie about Frida Kahlo full of bisexual scenes. Like, that's not going to fly in my hometown. And then I guess I never rented it because I'm an idiot. I forget about things. But I used to have this book. I still have it. It's in my bedroom, where I would, like, cut out all the ads for movies that I wanted to see when I would go out of town. Like I'd go out of town and the newspapers would have ads for all the movies, and I'd be like, I live in the middle of nowhere, and so I'd like cut out the ads and tape them into this book so that I would remember to see them again. I don't know. And I cut out like all the ads for this one because they're amazing, and I don't know why I just thought of that. Anyways, I love Julie Taymor's Across the Universe. It's one of my favorite movies. So I haven't seen Titus and I haven't seen The Tempest, despite my love of Ben Whishaw. That one needs to go on Netflix. But I love her visual style. I think she's a very unique artist, like and film director, and she definitely has a vision for the world she wants to create with cinema, and it's very much an artist's vision with mixed media, and I just find her films really beautiful. And so from the visual like, what is the word I'm looking for? As a visual piece of work, her films are very unique and beautiful. You could sort of tell that as a film, like story structure wise, they had a lot to work with because Kahlo lived such an amazing, unique, strange life. And you could sort of tell that this is a film that had gone through production for 30 years and had 1 million people work on the screenplay. And if I remember correctly, an uncredited last-minute rewrite by Edward Norton, who at the time was dating Salma Hayek and plays Rockefeller in this movie. It's not on the Wikipedia, but I remember reading about that at the time, so I'm sure someone else remembers other than me. Actually, if you read about this film's production history, it's really fascinating, and kind of makes you sad that it took 30 years to get such an amazing story, filmed. But at the same time, it's really good because in the 80s when they were trying to make it, like they had all these like white actresses interested, and I'm like, no. This is a fucking Mexican woman, and it should be played by a goddamn Mexican woman. And so it's the good thing it took 30 years because then Salma Hayek came in and gave like a performance of her career, even though she's amazing and I love her. And I will tweet every time she's on award shows. I'm like, best boobs in Hollywood, and everyone's like, what? And I'm like, it's true. She has the best boobs in Hollywood. She's also a very talented woman, but I love her boobs. This was I was just having a conversation about how being a bisexual affects my, like, reading of films. And I gotta say, it was really nice to see a movie that was like, here's a bisexual, she likes her husband, but she likes the ladies. And she, like, has this dance sequence with Ashley Judd that was, like, the most amazing thing I've ever seen. Like, I had to rewatch it a couple times. I think if I had seen this when this movie came out, I think I was 16, I probably would have died a little bit. So I can handle it a lot more now, those feelings, than I could when I was 16. Ashley Judd. Woo. Always loved her. Like her in, what's that one where her husband frames her? Double Jeopardy? Shit, yeah, it's a good movie. Maybe it's not a good movie, I don't know, but I love it. What was I saying? Also, so this movie won for its score, but also for its hair and makeup. And mostly, I mean, yeah, there's that unibrow going on, but the makeup they did on Alfred Molina to make him look like Diego Rivera is insane. Like, I don't know how they did that. They just like put him in like another body. It was amazing. I actually saw an exhibit of Frida's work at the SF MoMA probably 5 or 6 years ago. My mom was visiting, but I can't remember if it was 2008 or 2009. And I took her to the MoMA, and because they had a Frida exhibit, and it was amazing. And most of the paintings that they show in this movie, like the one of her and her son that died, and the one where she's ripped one heart and put it in the other, Frida, and all of that. It was a really beautiful exhibit. Also, that time there was an exhibit of what is her name? Oh God. Hold on. Ooh. I'm typing. The suspense. Lee Miller. There was a Lee Miller exhibit at the time too, and it was like two of the most amazing like feminist artists ever, all in one day. And then a few years later, I saw another exhibit of Lee Miller. And she's someone whose life was also really, really complicated and amazing. And no one has yet managed to tackle that and turn that into a film. And I would love to see that. Maybe I'll write it. Okay, so Salma Hayek got an Oscar nomination for this, and she was so good. And I wish she was in more movies because she's such a talented woman. And she's one of those artists that just like Hollywood doesn't know what to do with her, which is just a real bummer. She should be in all the movies, always. What was I going to say? Oh, so what I was saying about the like writers and many drafts is that it's very much a like series of events kind of biopic. Not to say that's a bad thing, but you know, sometimes you have a biopic and it focuses on one part in someone's life, and it can be a little more focused. And that's sort of the only complaint I have about the film was that it didn't have a focus. But I also feel like Frida's life was so tumultuous that this sort of biopic kind of worked for her story. But I definitely think Julie Taymor's sensibilities mixed with the kind of art Frida did, really worked as a film. So, like I said, this is on Netflix right now. You should watch it. Salma Hayek's amazing. Julie Taymor's amazing. Frida Kahlo's probably my favorite bisexual ever. So, you know, dude, she had an affair with Josephine Baker and an affair with Leon Trotsky. That's all I'm saying. 2002's Frida, directed by Julie Taymor. Quite good. Watch it on Netflix.